Hello, beautiful people. I'm Amy, and this is Art Conspiracy. I am making this video to introduce you to a new class that I am teaching, which I'm very excited about. It's figures, simplified figures in environments. And a lot of people need to know enough about the figure to put people in their artwork, whether it's a garden setting or a street scene or a building or a cafe. And they want to feel comfortable that they have enough knowledge of the human figure to do that, especially when people are coming and going and moving around and they're not holding still. You're working from life. So this is really great for urban sketchers or travel sketchers, but really for anybody who wants to know just enough essential information to populate your artwork with figures or with people. So you don't need to know everything about the human form. You just need that essential information. And I'm going to give you a great example. So stand by. So in this class, I'm going to teach you some techniques that will ensure that your figure will be in good proportion and fit in whatever space you want to put it in. And just very, very quickly, I'm going to show you like a standing figure. We say, here's the head, here's the feet, here's the center and the pelvis, the head, the shoulders. All this is leg. You got some arms. And then, it's kind of a glorified stick figure, but then they're carrying the purse, they have the skirt, the hair blowing in the wind. You put some outfits on them. And when you think about it, often in the context of your artwork, these figures are tiny, super tiny. So you don't need eyelashes and belly buttons and kneecaps. You just need to know how long the legs are, where the shoulders are, what's the shape of the head. And then you can dress it up and you can put it into your artwork. So we practice general proportions and also, for instance, like a half figure is, here's your head from the side and you have a shoulder. Just that much information and a nose, you've already got a person. So you don't need all the bells and whistles. And this is what we're focused on in the class, just this essential information. Okay, and then after we practice sort of the essential information of the figure, we're going to practice environments, putting them in environments, which I think is really, really fun aspect to this class. And we'll prime you for doing it from life or doing from a photo or whatever your practice is right now. So let me give you an example. So this is a cafe scene that you might draw. Doesn't have a color, but we will have color. We're going to use watercolor. And anyway, so here's a couple figures in this coffee shop, which is great. But then think about this. Here's this little figure, again, super, super simple. If you look at this one over here, it's basically an egg shape. The hair is showing us kind of the angle of the shoulders. You can indicate a little bit of the nose. Here's the collar line. This is the barista. I mean, that's very simple information, but you need to practice and you need to know how big she should be in this particular space. And again, here's a figure, super simple. The head is an egg shape from the side. She's got her little ponytail, maybe indication of the nose, the shoulder. She's holding her little latte. Anyway, these are very simple forms that we can put in and describe the people and put them into our composition. And this technique also allows you to make figures up if you want to. So jumping back over to this idea of the locations that we're going to develop. Here's one of my favorite projects, the food truck. So this might seem complicated to somebody, maybe who doesn't have a lot of drawing skill, but I make it very, very simple. And I'll show you. So if you have your composition, here's your rectangle. Now this looks really wonky, but I'm drawing with my finger on a mouse pad, so I don't want to hear any complaints. But the food truck is basically this rectangle, and I'm going to put it up high so that there's room for the people. And then you have a window, right? The big window, and maybe play with the perspective a little. Oh, that's like totally wonky, but there's the door or the you know, the window covering going up. You can add the wheel, you can have two wheels. Here's a signboard over here, say, we're just gonna play with that. Anyway, you wanna populate this with people, and what you need to know after you practice basic proportions is how big is the person? So you say, okay, here's their feet, standing here, gonna place their order. Maybe they're this tall compared to the window. So then we go, here's the center, here's the pelvis, here's the head. Based on what we've practiced proportion-wise, you can make this figure up and you can put that figure in there. You can give him a date. She's a little shorter than he is, but she's standing in the same spot. You start with the feet. Here's the head. Here's the pelvis. So, and then here we go. There, she's holding his arm. She says, I want a croissant. And we can make these people up. Now, these guys look a little stiff, but I'm doing this very quickly. And then you can put some people in the foreground too. But this is how we work. And every single week, we're going to have a different environment, which is really, really fun. So we practice the figure and we practice the environments too. So here's a finished watercolor, you employing some of these techniques. So you can see these people back here, they're very, very abstract. So we have to know how big they are in the space and what is the essential information. In this case, it's just the line of the nose, the little egg of the head, and the shape of the shoulders. And here's a little side view. So this is very doable and a lot of fun. Here's a different version. Look how abstract these figures are. They're just tiny little shapes in space, as they should be, because they're about 1/4 inch high. So you don't have room for all the bells and whistles. So it's just simplified information. So here's another environment. Now there's a person up here in this window. This might be another little person too, you can see. But you might put people on the porch or people walking by or somebody playing in the yard. You can totally populate this, which is really fun. And here's another example of a cafe scene. And we could add people on the sidewalk. And you can see, again, the relative abstraction of the people in the window. So it's really, really fun to play with these concepts. And I want to show you one more thing before I go. One more example. So here's a garden. And you may say, I love this luscious garden, but I want to put people in here. And so we can. Easy peasy Louise. So we'll just, oops, go back. There's a person. And let's say another one. We want another one doing the gardening. There she is. And this, again, is a lot of fun to play with. So I am pretty jazzed about this new class. It starts next week, Thursday in the United States. And I still have some spots left. So come on and join in. It's for students of all levels. And I'll teach you how to draw the basic figure, and I'll teach you how to draw some basic environments. You'll learn a little bit about perspective and color and line and composition and watercolor, and have a great time. So anyway, hope to see you soon. Amy at Art Conspiracy. I'll leave the link to the class below in the comments. So I hope to see you. Okay, Amy from Art Conspiracy. Keep working, stay safe. Bye, you guys.